Tonight, Vice President Harris welcoming an on-stage showdown with former President Trump, accusing him of backpedaling from his previous commitment to a September debate.
I'm ready to debate Donald Trump. I think the voters deserve to see the split screen that exists in this race on a debate stage, and so I'm ready. Let's go.
Just this week, Mr. Trump said he'd be willing to do more than one debate with Ms. Harris, but appeared to balk at the current plan.
I agreed to a debate with Joe Biden, but I want to debate her, and she'll be no different because they have the same policies.
Their head-to-head is quickly heating up. New polling shows the vice president has narrowed Mr. Trump's advantage over President Biden. The race effectively a toss-up. On the economy, Harris today slamming the former president's proposals as tax breaks for billionaires.
America has tried these failed economic policies before, but we are not going back. We are not going back.
Mr. Trump today attacking the vice president.
She's the most radical person probably that we've had in office, let alone the office of the presidency.
In Charlotte last night, casting aside his promise from last week's Republican convention that he'd strike a more unifying tone.
You can't be too nice. You really can't be. So if you don't mind, I'm not going to be nice. Is that okay?
It comes as President Biden detailed his decision to drop out of the race.
I revere this office, but I love my country more.
Discussing his desire to unite the country by passing the torch to a new generation.
There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now.
The vice president soon to receive a major boost, the endorsement of former President Obama, according to people familiar with their discussions, who say the two have been in close touch since she announced her plans to run.
In this election, we each face a question.
The Harris team now running with its first campaign video. Set to the Beyoncé song, Freedom. Meanwhile, Mr. Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, is facing new backlash for his past criticism of Democratic leaders, including Ms. Harris, for not having children.
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies.
Hollywood star Jennifer Aniston posting, "All I can say is, Mr. Vance, I pray that your daughter is fortunate enough to bear children of her own one day." And the second gentleman's first wife, Kirsten Emhoff, praising the vice president as a co-parent to the Emhoff children. "I love our blended family and am grateful to have her in it."
And Peter, we are in the very early days of the Harris campaign, but they're already embracing a different approach.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. I think in both style and strategy. Stylistically, the vice president, of course, is a younger candidate, embracing pop culture, memes, and appealing to younger voters who had been less enthusiastic about President Biden. But also, perhaps strategically, a different electoral map. The Harris campaign now hoping that her candidacy will mobilize different demographics, including Southern black voters in states like Georgia, where Vice President Harris will head early next week. Tom.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.